Hi everyone, welcome back to the Sedona International Film Festival. I'm Tonya June Moore. It's 2022. We're here live again, and we are so happy to be here. Welcome to our first live stream interviews with our filmmakers here this year. And boy, let me tell you, if you weren't at the Sedona Performing Arts Center last night, you did miss out on something. However, you can watch the live replay on YouTube later this week. You can also catch what happened on our Facebook channel, which you're watching right here, and on the website. And I would love to welcome these two because they are life-changing people. They are really making huge strides to make this world a better place. Please introduce yourselves and your film.
I'm Nathaniel Paulhoff, and it's State of the Unity.
I'm Jillian Spies, and our film is State of the Unity, as he said.
And your band is?
The Bergamot.
Yes! And in honor of you, I'm wearing bergamot oil too.
Oh, yes!
That is a high honor.
You have a trailer that you brought with you,
We
correct?
do.
Yes.
Okay. So while they're queuing the trailer up, I just want to talk a little bit about, first of all, how you were inspired for this quickly, and then how you're making moves into your next inspiration.
Yes. So we were inspired. 2015 was happening. I think we can all remember that. Just we were still in a place where people were still pretty happy and things were still pretty put together, but it felt like things were falling apart. And as an artist, you're always thinking, where are we going to be 4 years from now, 5 years from now, 6 years from now? And so the inspiration was, if things feel like they're falling apart, we ought to do something to bring people together.
Yes.
And I think that story hopefully now is more relevant than it ever has been before, because I think that people are just on their paths, and we hope to bring them together and make them realize that progress and diversity go together. Yes. And I think there's a beautiful match, and I think the film does a good job of putting those two together.
Awesome. So do we have the trailer up? Let's go.
In all of your years of peace and conflict study and teaching, do you think unity is possible?
Right now we only have two choices, us or them.
There's clearly this current social crisis in our society, economic, political, social, is dividing people and people are getting hurt. It's extremely dangerous, in many ways growing more dangerous.
Been taught that we're much more divided than we are united. I've always believed that what brings us together is stronger than what divides us.
This is what democracy looks like! This is what democracy looks like!
Well, America has always been a very raucous country. I mean, we're an immigrant nation, so we've always been a cauldron. That is America.
Art itself is one of the greatest unifiers on our planet. We thought about the act of people signing their message of unity next to each other, one after the next, thousands of people signing this message on the station wagon.
By having people sign their names next to each other, it is an act of unity to stand next to someone of a different political party, of a different race, of a different religion. This was just two musicians with a car, a guitar, and their voices, believing that there was something better out in the world and that we could somehow pull that out by showing the ultimate vulnerability of going in a car and asking people to sign it and going from state to state with no grand plan other than to bring people together in a very divided year. 'Cause I feel like I've waited all my life.
This is not the greatest thing you've ever seen.
It's awesome.
It's art on top of art with a cause. How much does that mean to you?
Oh my goodness. So watching the trailer today, the day after the premiere, I got a little emotional. I didn't want to lose it for this, crying too much, but it's a divine reckoning that's happening, and we are stepping into that right now, and it feels expansive and so good to be able to show up right now and for the past 6.5 years of making this film. And it was so difficult because there were so many dark periods where we were like, what are we doing? We feel like the divine called us to do this. And there were so many times where, we took on so much personal debt to do this. We're artists. As artists, you can't do that. Like, it keeps you up at night. So there were moments of that. There were dark periods where we had different people coming in and out of the film and not seeing the vision. We wanted to be authentic. And so it truly means the world to us to, one, be here to be able to share this message first in Sedona. And secondly, it's just cool to be part of, the master plan.
Yes.
Stepping into that and saying, you know what, we believe in unity. This is above politics. I talked about this last night. This is above, the binary system that we exist in America. This is about love. This is about loving yourself first, because you can't love others until you love yourself. And then this is about loving your neighbor like you love yourself and showing up for each other in a way that is giving people hope, and hopefully it inspires people.
So we've been through a couple of years.
We have.
Right? This film started before that. How do you feel now about all of this?
I think when you do anything in life, you don't know always what you're signing up for. You don't know what decisions lead to where, and how you're going to get there, or how things are going to play out. But when, as an artist, you almost have your ear to the ground. You're feeling and sensing what's happening. You're trying to before it happens. And you don't know if you're on or if you're off. And I think that when you make a film like this and you put in as much time as we did, 6.5 years, I just think that when it happened, it was just almost like there was something being sent to us that came from another realm that said, you need to go on this journey, and we had an option to do it. And we could have said no, but we just went. And everything has just been so difficult over the last 6 years for us personally, emotionally, physically, mentally, but for the country as well.
Yes.
And I think that we've all been on this journey together, as difficult as it's been at times. But I think that the film reminds us that we are on this journey together. None of us are here alone. None of us live in isolation, even though we've been in isolation. I mean, we think about the pandemic, the things that have divided us so severely. I read about things happening in New York that are so terrible right now with hate crimes and things like this. It's scary, the things that are going on in this world. But this, I think, brings people back to empathy and hope, and the things that we ultimately need to survive and thrive.
In my experience, and I'm wondering if this is your experience, when we start pushing against change, right? Like this, we do get a heightened sense of fear, right?
Yes.
Because people have been taught that.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's a learned process, right? And yesterday we talked a little bit about the 60s being revisited, really, and doing it right this time.
Hopefully we do.
And I think what we're seeing is breaking down of old and something really beautiful growing in its place. How do you want that to happen using this? What is your plan with this film? Where are you going?
Yeah.
It can't just be a film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So ultimately, our dream is to get this message out to as many people as possible, to inspire hope and instill a vision and a narrative of a better future. So the big dream would be to distribute this, Netflix or better, something to get it out to the people, and to really be able to harness this message in a way where we've taken all of our hard work, all of the years and the pain that we've gone through to produce this, and just share that vulnerability with people and meet them where they're at. This film, we made this not for the critics. sorry critics, but we made it for the everyday Americans. This film is made for, your next door neighbor, the person who's, clocking in at 5 a.m., getting off work, going home, providing for their family. We made this for real people.
Yes.
And this message we want to get out to real people, not celebrities, not TikTok famous stars.
But if celebrities want to sign on, we would take it. And push this forward,
of course.
Yes. And
right?
one of the things, one of the things that I really do think about with this film and the journey that we've been on is that you asked about the future of it, and I think that the journey has been so tough to this point, and I would expect no different going forward. We know that there's a lot of people out there who probably see the word unity and think, I know everything there is to know about unity, and it's not possible. If we could just for 1 second make that person believe that maybe they don't know everything they thought they knew, then we've accomplished something. So we know that this film, if it can just reframe the conversation about unity, even just slightly, to even the most difficult naysayers, that we've accomplished something. And going forward, I think that pushing this film out into the world, that if we can really have meaningful conversations about what actual unity is, what progress is, what diversity is, what understanding and empathy are, these are good conversations to be having at a time when it seems like all we want to talk about is how much we don't like each other, or how much the people who are not like us, and I think that David in the movie talks about that it's loss of status is the same feeling that people have when they have a gun to a head or a knife to the throat. And I think that we have to kind of step back and say that progress has to happen, but how can we do it so that in a way that people at all levels and all spectrums of society don't feel threatened, don't feel like, and when that threatening happens, there's friction. And so we have to, as artists, go in there and hopefully diffuse that with art, music, hope, community, collaboration, and that's what the film's about.
Yeah, okay. So the big question, where can they keep up with you? Where can they buy your music? And where can they follow this film and where it's going next?
Great question. So right now we have everything on our website, thebergamot.com.
Okay.
And I'll spell it because people always want to put an N in, but it's the and then BERGAMOT.com. And then it says documentary on there so you can keep up to date. There's a trailer up right now that you can watch. And we are thinking of hosting the film for a limited time on our website where people can go watch it and make a donation to watch it and stuff.
But we're very indie right now, so if you're watching this right now and you want to just send us an email, we can send you probably something that you could enjoy in the meantime. And so we're in touch with every email that comes in, thebergamot.com, and we're learning as we go. As you can imagine, you've met many filmmakers, and this is a process. We're two married people, and you can imagine there's that as well. But we're trying to do the best we can. So if you're really moved by the message and want to know more, just email us, and we will literally email you right back.
And they're incredible musicians. They're not even talking about how fluid their music is, and it will really keep you in the flow of what they're creating here. It's a breath of fresh air. So please look them up, the Bergamot. And stay tuned. We'll be back all day long with live interviews with all of our filmmakers here at the Sedona International Film Festival 2022. I'm Tonya June Moore, and I'll catch you in just a minute.